Hello, hello. Hope everybody is doing well. So congratulations on making it to the end of week 2, and here we are in week 3. So still catching up, still working through some assignments. I've responded to all of the checkpoints that have come in. I'm caught up on email, so if you need help, you'll hear from me. Don't worry, if you need to send me an email, please do. All right. And so, still working on science writing, and readings and discussions are kind of heading in the direction of thinking about what makes good science writing. We know that the average person is not digging through the databases and reading a lot of studies. So in many cases, we're relying on science writers who write for news media to deliver that information to us. So with your science writing assignment that you're working on, the ask is for you to find a science or specialized article. Please use the library's databases. I know you had some tutorials on that this past week. Find an article there. Critique the article. Look at what they, how well they get their information across to their audience, and then create a summary of that article for a general audience. You're basically taking the information and making it something that the average person can understand. So I encourage you to pick something that you are really interested in, or something related to your field of study or field of work. So this is a great opportunity to nerd out. So if you want to nerd out, please nerd out. So I looked at the annotations on the science writing assignment, and a lot of the questions were about essentially page counts and how long it needed to be. I'm worried about you fulfilling the content requirements. I'm less worried about the number of pages. Depending on the complexity and length of an article that you choose, that will determine how long your essay is. Most of these run 2 to 3 pages. Some people write more. Again, I'm much more concerned with the quality of your content than the quantity of the content. So look at how the information is delivered. Are things clear? Are things convoluted? Could better language be used? Consider, this is essentially a rhetorical analysis, looking at how the content is delivered. Now, you may critique some of the content. You may say, this isn't thorough enough. I don't think they did this study very well. You may look in there and identify some problems with the study. Some problems with how they have collected data. It's absolutely fine to critique that. That's okay too. So, when you're thinking about your audience, you're going to, of course, be thinking about who's going to be reading this and what their knowledge level is, what their expectations are. So consider that audience. Consider how formal you need to be. Science writing tends to be quite formal, but you may need to deformalize your summary a little bit for the reader. So, provide context for your reader. What do they need to know in order to understand the content? So, APA, getting back to APA. Some people did ask about the format of the essay. I do ask you to format for APA. You don't need a title page for this. This is not a large formal report, but you should be citing according to APA. I introduced the discussion of APA last week and mentioned that the year is important, publication time is important. When you introduce an author, you're going to include the page numbers in parentheses after the author or author's names. Remember that if you're using a work that has been written by a number of authors, you're going to be using et al, et space al period, and you will treat that as a plural. So Jones et al would be treated as plural. That would be a they. That would be them. So Jones et al state, Jones et al write, Jones et al argue, Jones et al find. I also wanted to discuss paraphrasing and quoting a little bit. Just as a review, I know you all have had English 111. You know how to work with sources, but I know that some folks need more practice and more discussion of that. Remember that when you are quoting directly, you are using the author's exact words. You are enclosing those words in quotation marks and you are citing. When you paraphrase, you are putting the author's ideas in your own words and your own sentence structure. You're not using quotation marks and you are still citing. When you are summarizing, you're taking the big ideas and you're shrinking them down and condensing them and citing. If you feel like you need some more practice on that, if you feel like you need some help with that, the Writing and Reading Center is a great resource. I'm glad to meet with you or see you during office hours and walk you through some of that. in response to a lot of questions about APA, I did post to look at the Little Seagulls coverage of APA last week. They have very good, extensive APA resources. I'm also going to drop an inquisitive assignment in this week's folder to help those of you who need some more APA help. So I'll get that up and running here shortly. So we're starting on the actual writing of your project this week. Make sure you upload that citation. I know some of you have already uploaded your citation for your article, and I have, I think as of yesterday, I had gotten all of the citations responded to. So if you are trying to work ahead, go ahead and get that up there. I'll try to drop in on Tuesday and make sure that I've gotten more of them done. If you have questions or need help, please let me know. I've not had a whole lot of questions out of folks this week, so if you need help, please don't be shy. Please do get in touch. Organization of the essay. Some people have asked if you can do your summary first and then your critique. That's absolutely fine. You can arrange this essay how you want to. I've given you all a lot of leeway with it as far as what what articles you can choose, how you can organize it. And that has been very intentional. I want you to kind of stretch your legs a little bit and write the essay in the way you best see fit. I'll provide feedback. We'll get there. So that's really the big stuff for this week. I have provided some articles to show you how the news media definitely give a different presentation of scientific articles. In some cases, they do a really good job. In some cases, they do a less great job. And science writing, like I believe I've said to you all before, it exists on a continuum. Super sciencey to super popular, and most of the stuff that we see in the news media is going to be in the middle. A lot of it leaning more towards that popular side and less toward that super sciencey side. So I want you to think about what makes good science writing that the public can take in. The struggle that a lot of folks who work in research and work in the sciences have is taking that information and making it something that the rest of us can take in and understand pretty easily. So I will leave it there. If you're watching this before the holiday, I hope you have a good Labor Day weekend. If you're watching it after the holiday, I hope you had a good Labor Day weekend. If I can help you, please get in touch. Y'all take care.